Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Trigger warning. We got a couple of young women who says that they spoke with a person who's in the body transportation business, and they saw the condition of Nolan Wells' body as it was being transported to DC for a independent autopsy. And what they saw,
I'm going to talk about Nolan Wells today.
So today, we actually know someone that works transporting bodies, human remains, and things like that. So today I got a call from that person, and they were just talking about the body that they
Came across. This was Nolan Wells.
So before knowing all that, he said that the body was mistreated.
Yeah.
It looked abused. It looked like he was tortured. Looked as if he was burnt, maybe.
Where?
Face, body, said he was burnt.
And not only that, his body was mistreated when they transported him.
So as they were transporting him, he was actually face down. So everyone knows when you're transporting a body, when, only a couple of people work that job, they all know you don't transport the body face down. That's kind of very disrespectful. So you always have them face up. Well, specifically his body whatever reason was face down. And me personally, I took that as disrespect.
Yeah.
Heart goes out to the family.
Yes, definitely.
Because all we know is what they put out
on the internet.
But today, we actually found out a lot about his autopsy without even reading the autopsy.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
I'm so sorry that family had to go through this. Really just...
I want to give our condolences to the family, as a mom or moms.
Grandmothers.
Dads. Just family, period. We give the most prayers to you, and we stand behind you because we know
right
what really happened.
Right. So.
And at the end of the day, whatever lies those families have covered up, or whatever lies they're trying to cover, we're sorry, and we're here for you, and we just want you to know that what was seen today was unacceptable.
It's unacceptable, and that's why we want to inform. So what's going on during the transport like that?
Something you can be quiet on
at all.
When you've seen something so heartbreaking as a child, go through something traumatic.
Yes.
It hurts to know that was done to him in the ways that we can't even express.
Right.
And as a person, you should have some type of humanity.
Right.
And I felt like those people who was transporting him did not have humanity in no way, shape, or form. Because if I can feel the way I feel about the situation, just listening to what happened, you also can listen to what happened to this child.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that is a child that you did that to.
Right.
So this child needs justice. Because we're not going to sleep until he gets it.
At all. And I heard the feds are in Mississippi right.
So what we're dealing with, fam, what they don't understand, when they're talking as if they're talking about civilized human beings. These people are uncivilized mutts. They have no empathy, no compassion, not even for themselves, but they target specifically Black people. They go out of their way to try to make Black people's day miserable. Even in death, they disrespect Black bodies. This is because it's something deep down inside these uncivilized mutts that makes them the devil's advocates. I mean, they are wicked. So you cannot reason with these monsters. You're looking at these people and you're thinking that they should behave like civilized human beings, like human beings who come from God, people who are godly, people who actually study the Bible and adhere to the part about compassion and your fellow man and woman and community and all. These people don't care nothing about none of that. These are uncivilized mutts. That's what they don't get. You're dealing with uncivilized mutts, and they're all over the United States of America. They're all over the United States of America. But they are especially assigned to law enforcement, any type of situations where that involve power I'm talking about from the permits department to survey departments to law enforcement to healthcare to education. Look, transportation, all of the pillars of society, you know, all of the industries that allow communities and countries to thrive. These uncivilized mutts are there. And so you have to deal with them. When you spot one, you got to think about, when you think about their actions, don't think about the law, don't think about policy, don't think about right and wrong. I heard somebody saying, well, why would they cover that up? Some fool said, well, why would they cover that up? That doesn't make any sense. See, that comes from a person who is either short bus window licking slow, or they're a mole. They know what's going on, but they don't want to say it out loud. They don't want to say it publicly. Or these fools are as naive as a damn deer who thinks that the headlights are the paparazzi. You know, this is crazy, man. This is madness. To put a body face down on a gurney. I know that, and I ain't never had to transport a body. I'm not even in the business. I know that. I ain't never seen a body transported with face down. Look, even if I was not working in the business, if I just got the job today, if they hired me today, they said, Willie D, you're going to be transporting bodies. This is what you're going to do. If they don't tell me no other protocol, if they don't tell me nothing else, I know that you don't grab the body and drag it. I know that you don't put the body, you don't lay the body down legs first. I know that you don't leave the head hanging off the gurney. I know that you don't lay a body down face down. It's indignified. See, that's double respect. That's double disrespect. So this is why I said Nolan is not going to get justice in the state of Mississippi. Mississippi has perhaps the highest concentration of uncivilized mutts who are stuck in the 17th century. They are stuck. These uncivilized mutts can't be saved. The law can't even help them because they've been infiltrated. They've been infiltrated by the law, and the law don't want to help them. The federal government don't want no parts of Mississippi. They don't want to go down there. They don't want to deal with them. Mississippi is an abomination. Ain't no damn way I'd live in that damn state. I wouldn't live on the edge of it. I wouldn't. And they can say, man, we'll give you, just move here, man. We'll give you $10 million a month. I wouldn't move to Mississippi for nothing. They're dealing with uncivilized mutts. The boy body was beaten. We already knew this though, right? We knew it was foul play. We knew his body was beaten. We knew that. Somebody said, well, you know, they initially reported that the sheriff said it was no foul play. A sheriff in Mississippi, I don't trust you. Automatically. I ain't gotta never meet you. I don't have to listen to one speech you ever made. I don't need to know who your people are, nothing. You a sheriff in Mississippi, I don't trust you. Now, perhaps you can win me over. Perhaps with your deeds, with your actions, I can see what you're doing, and then perhaps, but just off the rip, you introduce me to a sheriff, any sheriff in any town in Mississippi, automatically, black or white, automatically I'm gonna be like, because I know what Mississippi is about. Check out the dad speaking in this press conference and how he talks about they came across the findings of Nolan Wells' body.
If I knew anyone who had a boat, I would have went out that night looking for my son. We tried, but I don't have friends with boats. But if I knew someone with one, I would have went out that night. And it so happened that his coach saw all the stuff on Facebook that next morning and called and contacted me at like 5 in the morning, asked me did we want to go out. And I told him yes. So within an hour, he was at the dock. We met him, and we went out. We docked the boat, got out the boat, walked on the island, walked a pretty nice stretch, came back, got back on the boat, went around the island, looked, came back around, and where we went to, that's where apparently they say that his body floated up. I don't know a lot about water currents or whatever, but I would think that we would have saw his body. And
the dad is on to something. I don't know a lot about water currents, but I would have thought we would have seen something. Yeah, they took that body from that pool party where they beat him up. Not sure if they killed him at the pool party, at the house of one of his so-called friends, but he was definitely jumped at that house, beat him up, maybe killed him, but transported his body. I'm thinking that they killed him at the house and then tried to cover it up. Because if they was going to do all this other stuff, I don't think they would have had to go through all of those steps. So I think they beat him up, killed him at the house, came up with a weak ass plan to transport the body back to the island and then come up with the theory that, hey, his body washed back up on shore. I think that's what happened. Whoever killed Nolan Wells was in that pool with Nolan Wells. They was inside of that pool. Absolutely. I absolutely believe that. They were inside that pool. His killer or killers is inside of that pool. Yeah. So they came up with the plan later. See, but to devise a plan like that to say that he went missing on the island, that lets you know that they got co-conspirators, because they got to be really bold to come up with something like that with all of those witnesses, unless the beating happened after most of the witnesses left. But again, when it comes to these type of situations, they know how to be on code. Yeah, man, they know how to be on code.
the trip there was a family that stayed a night on the island, like actually tented out on the island. So if he was left, he would have saw that family on the island, and it was 2 other boats docked, so he would have had help. So I don't know. I think we stayed there for like an hour and a half. That's when Jackson County and the sheriff department showed up, and they were going to do their rounds. And I had a classmate of mine, him and his 2 boys, they came out and they searched, and then they got back in touch with me and said the Coast Guard had finally showed up in airplanes. So
what is so critical, what Elmore is saying, is they went out on Sunday, and the tide, if it brought his body up, he went missing on July 4th, as they say. His body should have been there on July 5th. Why would it not appear to July 6th? And that's one of those things that's just not adding up. And the fact that if he stayed behind on the island, there were boats there, there were people, somebody had to see something. That's why it's not adding up. And that's what they're saying. It's just not adding up.
yes.
And if he was there 2 days, somebody on the island would be able to verify that. 2 days, and nobody's come forward and say, no, he was with us, or no, we saw him. it just does not make sense. Make it make sense.
Just one last thing, we want her to talk about the cell phone deleted messages. I'm sorry.
Well, we heard about the cell phone and the deleted messages on Snapchat. Nolan was an advocate, self-photographer. You know, he oftentimes filmed himself. He took pictures of himself. And his mother said for him not to have any pictures on there, it is absolutely suspicious. His phone was wiped. Now, they say, the FBI say that they got digital forensics on the case. If it's there, well, it is there. They can recover those files. We know for a fact that they were there. Those pictures and those videos were on his phone. They can recover that information if they really wants to recover that information. But check this guy out right here, y'all. Y'all know who that is? That's good old Sheriff Ledbetter. That's good old John Ledbetter, the sheriff of Jackson County. Now, this guy said that he didn't suspect foul play. Now, either he is part of the cover-up or he's just incompetent. Because if he saw that body and he saw the condition of the body, his first response should have been, we suspect foul play, not we don't. Why rule out foul play, but not rule in foul play? Why rule out foul play, but not rule in foul play? They're quick to say we don't suspect foul play, but they're not ever quick to say we suspect foul play. Now, why is that? That's rhetorical. I don't trust that dude. I don't trust him from the first time I heard him speaking. Number one, like I said, he's a sheriff in Mississippi. Go figure. A sheriff in Mississippi, a white sheriff in Mississippi at that. Even if he was a black sheriff, I would be suspicious of him because most of those black sheriffs in Mississippi are coons. Yeah, they're coons, most of them. So I wouldn't trust any of them. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.